Hi, my name is Dr. Bliss Lewis. I'm a psychiatrist and an integrative medicine doctor. And let's talk about mindfulness and how mindfulness practices can change the brain. And let's look at some of the research that shows us what we actually know from the evidence and research studies about the impact of mindfulness on the brain's structure, so how things are put together and function. So let's look at the first study. This is about the impact of mindfulness on gray matter density. This is a study from 2019, a study published in the journal Psychiatry Research. And neuroimaging found that mindfulness meditation increases gray matter density in the areas of the brain that are connected with learning, memory, and emotional regulation. So that means there are more cells, more connections. It's just more dense, that area, gray matter. So our new brain, our fancy new brain gets better, denser, richer through the practice of mindfulness. And this was shown with neuroimaging. So literally using technology to take pictures of what's going on in the brain. So pretty convincing. Let's look at the second study. So this is a study about mindfulness and connectivity of the default mode network. This is a study from 2020. And neuroimaging showed that mindfulness practice enhances connectivity within the default mode network, which is linked to self-referential thinking and mind wandering. Okay, so this might be a mouthful and a handful, but basically what this means is we have a default mode network, right? There's constantly this little awareness network running in our brain, and mindfulness improves how it works. The connectivity improves. The impact of mindfulness on brain waves. This is a study from 2021 published in Frontiers in Human Neuroscience. And this study found that mindfulness meditation increases alpha and theta wave activity, and these are associated with relaxation and creativity. So you can change the brainwave patterns, the predominant brainwave pattern in your brain through mindfulness practice. Let's look at another study, the impact of mindfulness on emotional regulation. This is a study from 2018. Researchers published a study in Biological Psychiatry showing that mindfulness training improves emotional regulation by increasing activity in the prefrontal cortex and reducing activity in the amygdala. So I have a whole book about this on mindfulness for ADHD. A core component of ADHD is emotional dysregulation, and mindfulness is an amazing way to improve this emotional dysregulation. Let's look at another study, mindfulness and memory enhancement. This is a study from 2020 published in the Journal of Cognitive Enhancement. This paper is showing that mindfulness practices enhance working memory capacity and improve performance on memory tasks. Yay! So if you want to improve your memory, if you want to increase the capacity of your memory and just working memory, mindfulness can do that. The impact of mindfulness on stress and the potential to use mindfulness as a stress reduction technique. There's a study in 2019 published in a good journal, Nature Human Behavior, and this study found that mindfulness reduces stress by decreasing cortisol levels and altering brain regions involved in the stress response. So cortisol is our main stress hormone. Through mindfulness practice, you can lower that and also have positive impact on how your brain works related to stress. Another study that's worthwhile to take a look at, and very important, shows that mindfulness can help to improve attention. Yet another reason to use mindfulness for ADHD and just overall for improving attention. This is a study 2021 published in Cerebral Cortex. In this study, mindfulness training enhanced attentional control and increased activity in the key areas responsible for attention in the brain. the areas that are responsible also for cognitive control, right? So being able to actually direct and use our minds as we want to. Let's look at another important study about mindfulness and brain plasticity. So this is a study from 2020 published in Translational Psychiatry Journal. And this study found that mindfulness meditation increases brain plasticity, right? And that promotes neural growth, connectivity, right? Like the possibility of the brain reshaping itself, new connections, new perspectives, right? And the benefit of that for changes in behavior, changes in how we think, changes in how we deal with habits in daily life. The impact of mindfulness on compassion. So a research study from 2019 published in PLOS ONE found that mindfulness practices increase activity in the brain regions which are associated with empathy and compassion, and that will enhance our social connectedness, our emotional intelligence. So another amazing benefit of mindfulness practice is to grow those brain areas which make us more emotionally intelligent and better able to communicate and navigate interpersonal relationships. Let's look at another study, a study about mindfulness and cognitive function. This is a study published in 2021 in Journal of Affective Disorders. And this study showed that mindfulness practice improves cognitive function, particularly executive function, such as planning, problem solving, and multitasking. So this is another area, executive function, that is really affected in ADHD. So another reason mindfulness might be particularly useful for people who are affected by challenges with attention and executive dysfunction. And it works, and we have research studies to show that it works. So we just went over some of the recent research studies that show how mindfulness can improve brain function, that demonstrates the benefits from mindfulness for memory, for reducing stress, for improving compassion, for improving executive function, for improving attentional regulation, and all of that will benefit well-being and mental health overall. So feel free to share about your own experiments and insights on using mindfulness to address mental health, mental well-being, or issues such as executive function, attention control, or to grow compassion. And see you next time.